As teenagers, my friends and I were completely stupid. I can say this because I lived it, and it's the God's honest truth. We did way too many things that could have resulted in disaster or death. So let me preface this story and cautionary tale by saying don't be dumb like we were, kids. Second, stay away from property that isn't yours. Whether it's been abandoned for 2 years or 200 years, it isn't yours. Get permission if you want to explore it, because there's probably a good reason it's abandoned. Now let's proceed to what my friends and I were dumb enough to do one night. In the town I grew up in, there was an abandoned mall. It was the scene of a violent crime that had many victims years ago. After that, it never recovered financially, so it closed 6 months later. It wasn't a huge mall like the Mall of America or anything, but it was a pretty good size. Months after closing, rumors circulated that it was haunted by at least one of the spirits of the victims of the incident. Well, myself and my friends decided it would be a great idea to go basically break in one night, to explore and see what all the fuss was about. This was a terrible idea for many reasons. The first being we could have been arrested or physically harmed. The second being, it was definitely haunted. It was a Friday night and we left around 10 p.m. with the intentions of proving there was nothing going on in some dumb old mall. When we arrived, we spent the first half hour just walking around excitedly after getting into the place easier than any of us expected. There was obviously no electricity in the place. It had been abandoned for years, so we brought multiple flashlights and even a couple battery-operated lanterns. We quickly started making fun of the fact that people thought it was haunted. "Looks like a lame abandoned mall to me," Keith said. "Yeah, I'm really scared of that Target over there. Looks super haunted," I said. "Maybe we should all hold hands so we don't get too scared," Josh chimed in. Just as he was finishing his sentence, there was the loudest bang somewhere behind us. I'm not ashamed to admit all these years later that it made all 4 of us 6-foot-tall teenage boys jump and scream out. "Holy smokes, what was that?" I said when I regained my speech. "Ooh, we better be careful, now it's coming for us," Billy said. There was silence for a few minutes as we all digested what just happened. "There's no way a ghost made a noise that loud. Come on, guys. It had to be part of the ceiling caving or something. This place is a dump," Josh said. We all agreed, mainly because we didn't want to admit we were scared that the place might actually be haunted. So we continued as if nothing happened. "Let's go see where that fell. It had to be ceiling tiles or something. Just be careful and keep your eyes peeled," I said. We proceeded down the hallway about 10 feet from the old Toys R Us store. We heard knocking. It was faint at first, but as soon as we got closer, we definitely heard the distinct sound someone was knocking. "Josh, you and I will go in and check it out. Maybe someone is trapped in there," I said. "Oh sure, drag me with you. Why not Billy?" Josh said. "Billy will keep an eye out for other people that could be in here, and Keith can step in and be backup if we do run into someone," I said. We walked through the old store, peering at the empty shelves that were full of dust and debris from bits and pieces of the ceiling falling over time. "The knocking sounds like it's coming from back there," said Josh, pointing towards what looked to be an employee room. We approached the room. The door was closed, and the knocking was definitely coming from the other side of that closed door. I looked at Josh, who nodded. He turned the handle and pushed, but the door wouldn't open. It wouldn't even move an inch, in fact. The knocking stopped, as if we scared someone on the other side of the door. Josh tried the door again, but said it felt like someone was holding it closed. "We mean no harm, we're just here exploring, and heard you knocking. Are you okay?" I said. There was silence for a few seconds, but then one single knock on the door as if to respond. "Yeah, we're just here to make sure you are okay. But if you're too scared to come out, that's okay. Just knock twice to let us know you are," Josh added. There was no knock. The door handle slowly started turning, and Josh and I exchanged concerned looks, not knowing who we were going to find on the other side of this door. The door slowly started opening, and you could hear us both take a deep breath in. But there was no one on the other side of the door. When it finished opening, it hit the wall lightly as if someone gently opened it. We looked at each other and shrugged. I slowly walked through the doorway, followed by Josh. As soon as Josh cleared the doorway, it slammed behind us. "Josh, dude, open the door," I said. "I'm trying, it's not budging," he said, not even hiding the panic in his voice. "You're messing with me, man, just open it," I said, stepping to try it for myself, but it wouldn't open. We both started banging on the door at the same time, yelling for Keith and Billy. "Stop messing with me, guys. I'm not going to fall for it," Keith said. But Keith couldn't open the door either. When he heard the panic in our voice, he told us to stand back. He kicked the door with all the force he could, but nothing. It moved maybe an inch. "We have to call the cops. It's really stuck," Keith said. "We can't call the cops. We're trespassing, you idiot. And some of us are 17 and can be charged as adults," I said. I was an aspiring lawyer at the time, so I always annoyed my friends and family with random law facts. "Okay, genius, what do you propose then?" Keith asked. Suddenly, the door flew open and slammed against the wall. Josh and I didn't even hesitate. We, together with Keith and Billy, all ran as fast and as far as we could, and didn't look back. Back at my car, a cop was waiting. "Great, just the icing on tonight's cake," I said. Luckily, we had a cop that was cool. He told us to leave and not come back, which we had no intentions of ever coming back at that point. And I think he could read that on our faces. We never did go back. Wow, thankfully no one was physically injured. What a crazy night. I bet you thought twice about doing things you shouldn't after that one. Thank you for sharing your story with us. If you have a paranormal story to share, email it to the address in the description below and I'll include it in an upcoming video. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel immensely. And with that, see you tomorrow, friends.